Welcome to Somerset County Library's Personal Enrichment Program. Today we're going to be learning about AI. So AI seems to be everywhere nowadays. You're constantly hearing about artificial intelligence and how AI is going to take over the world and AI is going to do this. But what exactly is AI? I have to admit, I didn't really get into AI too much until recently. I attended a conference and I learned a little bit more about it, and I've actually tried using some of the AI that is out there. So I came across this lesson and I wanted to share it with everybody so that you could get a better understanding of what AI is, the benefits of AI, the downfalls of AI, because there are some downfalls, and how to get the best results out of using AI in your daily life. So this program is through the Google Applied Digital Skills program that we have. And I'm going to start the lesson.
Or how a computer can suggest a word to finish a sentence you're typing. Both of these examples, and many more, are made possible by artificial intelligence. In this lesson, you will learn about artificial intelligence, explore how it is used, and use it to create a visual dictionary. Artificial intelligence, or AI for short, is the ability of a computer or machine to think or learn. One common way AI learns is by using powerful mathematical tools to analyze data and look for patterns. AI systems incorporate many functions, including using cameras, microphones, and sensors to understand their environment, processing data to make decisions and figure out solutions, learning from data to improve their abilities over time, and interacting with humans by talking to us or helping us accomplish things. Consider the movie app. The app sees many examples of the movies people watch and what ratings they get. To recommend movies to you, the app can find a set of people who have similar tastes as you and who've watched and liked many of the same movies. Then, it can suggest you watch movies they like that you haven't seen yet. The app may also consider other data, like which actors are in movies you like or which movies have similar images or music. AI can have many benefits, like speed, consistency, and accuracy. First, AI can help people by making lots of decisions very quickly. If you asked a human movie critic for recommendations, they would first need to learn about the movies you enjoy, which might take a lot of time. And it would take a huge number of movie critics to make recommendations to everyone who wants to watch a movie. But an AI system can check tens of thousands of movies in less than a second to pick one just for you. At the exact same time, it can make personalized recommendations to many other people. AI can also help people by being more consistent than humans. When people make decisions, they can be affected by things like whether they're tired, hungry, or become distracted. AI can be designed to make decisions the exact same way, over and over again. AI can do repetitive tasks 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, possibly freeing up people to spend time doing other things. Another advantage of AI is that sometimes it can be more accurate than humans. To learn how to detect diseases based on X-rays, AI can look at data from hundreds of thousands of medical records, more than any single medical professional could review in a lifetime, and use that to suggest an accurate diagnosis. Although AI can have many positive impacts on society, it can also make mistakes and have unexpected effects. You'll learn more about some challenges of AI in a later video. Although AI isn't perfect, understanding it and practicing how to use it can help you use it responsibly. As you complete this lesson, you'll explore how artificial intelligence is used in a game called Quick Draw. You'll practice using AI in verse by verse to compose a poem. Discover how people use AI in a typical day. Get to know some challenges of AI, and take notes on what you learned in a document. Then, you'll use what you've learned about AI and some common tools to help you create a visual dictionary in a Google Slides presentation. You will complete this lesson using Google Docs, AutoDraw, Google Translate, and Google Slides. For the next few videos, you may work with a partner to answer the questions, or you can also work by yourself. To begin, sign in to your Google account. Open a new tab in your browser and navigate to google.com. If you are not signed in, do so now. If you do not have a Google account, pause the video and create one. Then, make a copy of the AI Activities and Reflections document next to this video. And rename it. You'll use this document to record your answers to questions and completed activities throughout this lesson. Now it's your turn. Sign in to your Google account, make a copy of the document linked next to this video, and rename it.
And if you are interested in doing these activities and you want to log into our classroom, I will give you that classroom code. But for now, let me go ahead and open that in a new tab. And you can see as we're learning about AI, we're also going to be learning about some of Google's apps that they have available in their Google Suite. And those apps are free to everyone who has a Gmail account. So you have access to Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and those are Google's equivalents to Microsoft's programs that they have. Okay, and to change the name, I'm just clicking up here where the title is. And that's AI Activities and Reflections. Now we are going to explore Quick Draw.
To better understand how AI can learn, check out Quick Draw, a game that prompts you to draw random objects. Then, it uses AI to guess what you're drawing. The AI doesn't know what the game prompts users to draw. In this video, you'll play a round of Quick Draw and then think about the results. To begin, in a new tab, navigate to quickdraw.withgoogle.com. or click the link to QuickDraw in your document. Once you click Let's Draw, you'll be asked to draw different items, like a hockey stick or a feather, as fast as you can. QuickDraw will tell you what it thinks your drawings are.
I see street light. Oh, I know. It's stairs. I see rainbow. Or circle. Or moon. Or potato. Or pond. I see pool. Oh, I know. It's donut. I see line. Or ocean. Or eraser. Or pillow. Oh, I know. It's tent. I see line. Or nose. Or socks. Or string bean. Or the Eiffel Tower. I see peanut. Oh, I know. It's tree. I see line. I see string bean. Or water slide. Or pencil. I see magic wand. Or marker. Or paintbrush. Or asparagus. Sorry, I couldn't guess it. I see line. Or ocean. Or canoe. Or pool. Or hot tub. I see hockey puck. Or bathtub. Sorry, I couldn't guess it.
At the end of your round, QuickDraw provides a summary of what it guessed and didn't guess correctly. Click on any of the drawings in the summary to see what it thought the object you drew was, based on how other people drew it. Then return to the summary page. How does QuickDraw guess what you're drawing, sometimes even better than a human would? Over 15 million people have contributed drawings to QuickDraw, and it looks at all these drawings to learn how humans draw each object. Here, you can see over 100,000 bicycles that people have drawn for QuickDraw. It looks for patterns to learn what a bicycle looks like. Do you see any patterns in these drawings? For example, QuickDraw might notice that two circles connected by a line or two is a common way to draw a bicycle. In QuickDraw, when you draw an object like a bicycle, you're creating a brand new drawing that the AI has never seen before. But it guesses it's a bicycle because it's seen many different examples that it can compare to your drawing. At the same time, QuickDraw doesn't have common sense or understand what any of these objects are or what they're used for. QuickDraw only knows a few hundred objects chosen by programmers and will only guess those objects. For example, it knows dogs and cats because it has been taught what they look like, but it will never guess a fox because it hasn't been taught what foxes look like. Now that you've explored around a QuickDraw, think about these questions. What did QuickDraw guess correctly? What did QuickDraw guess incorrectly? And why do you think QuickDraw guessed some of these things correctly and some things incorrectly? Type your answers in the first section of the document you created in the last video. Now it's your turn. Navigate to quickdraw.withgoogle.com or click the link in your document. See if QuickDraw can guess what you draw. Review your results on the Well Drawn page and type your answers to the questions in your document.
So Quick Draw looks like a fun game of Pictionary, actually. So that's an easy way to get yourself introduced to what AI is. Just go ahead and experiment a little bit with quickdraw.withgoogle.com and just have a little fun with it. And as you can see, AI is not perfect. It can only learn what we put in, so it's not perfect. I loved how it kept wanting to guess string bean. String, it's a string bean, it's a string bean, yeah. So you can pause the video here if you want to take time and experiment with that now, or you can continue on.
In this video, you will use verse by verse to help you compose a poem. You will then copy the poem to your document. Exploring verse by verse will help you get a sense of generative AI. Generative AI refers to the use of AI to create new content like text, images, music, audio, and videos. While generative AI's ability to create content may seem like magic, it isn't. Generative AI finds relationships in content created by humans and uses that information to create new content. For example, it figures out which words commonly follow other words and uses that information to string words together to make new sentences. The generative AI systems you are hearing about in the world are trained on billions of words, so they may have seen many examples of how all your favorite words have ever been used. It uses all of this information to write stories, answer questions, and as we will see with verse by verse, write poems. Verse by verse uses AI to create suggested lines inspired by classic poets like Emily Dickinson and Edgar Allan Poe that you can use to compose your poem. You can use AI to support your work, but it's important to remember that it isn't a replacement for your personal efforts and ideas. It's a great tool to aid you because it has reviewed more poems than a human ever could. But it can't think the way you do, and it can make mistakes. To create suggested lines for your poem, there are two AI systems at work. One learns how to create poetry in the style of specific poets, and another tries to understand which lines best follow the previous line. To begin, navigate to sites.research.google/verse-by-verse. Or click the link in your document. Then begin building your poem. First, select muses or sources of inspiration for your poem. Each poet has their individual style, and the lines verse by verse suggests will be in their style. Click on poets to learn more about them and see examples of their poetry. If their poetry appeals to you, keep them selected. You can choose up to 3 muses. If you choose more than one muse, verse by verse will suggest lines in each of the muses' styles. After you've finished, move on to the next page. Next, select the type of poem you'd like to write. Use the definitions on the side of the page to help you decide what structure to use. You can change the poetic form, syllable count, and rhyme scheme to create different types of poems. If you're not familiar with these, you can leave them as is. Now you're ready to write your poem. Begin your poem with a line that will inspire your muses. Just type whatever comes to mind. Then, look at the suggestions from your muses. You can use the suggested lines exactly as they are, or change them to make them more meaningful. You can even reject them completely. Finish writing your poem. Remember, the AI in verse by verse is intended to inspire you as you write your poem, not replace your own thinking. Adjust the lines with your own words. When you're satisfied, add or change any punctuation you'd like. Then, give your poem a title. And copy the text. Finally, open your document from the main lesson if it's not already open. Then scroll down to the verse by verse header. Paste your poem in the box under the title, My AI Poem. Now it's your turn. Navigate to sites.research.google/verse by verse, or click the link in your document. Create a poem and copy it. Open your document and scroll down to the header, verse by verse, and paste your poem in the box under the title, My AI Poem.
And as he said, it's important to remember that AI is there to inspire you, not to take over your thinking or take over your creativity. I started using ChatGPT, which is an AI app, and I'll use it when I'm working on grant proposals or I'm trying to come up with wording for an advertisement to try to draw teens into programs. I know what I'm going to say, and I'll have something typed up, and then I'll go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, reword, and I'll paste in whatever it is that I wanted to try to reword. And then I watch it come up with its ideas, and sometimes it comes up with its ideas, and I'm like, oh, that is awesome. I love how that sounds. And then I'll go with it. Other times, I'll read through it and nah, it's not quite what I want to say, but I like how it's going. I might have to change a word or two. I might have to change like the formatting on it, but it's just there as some inspiration, sort of like a sort of like giving feedback and ideas to work with. So go ahead and experiment with sites.research.google/verse by verse. This is an experimental app, so you can give that a try. And let's move on to the next section here. Now we're going to look at a typical day using artificial intelligence. And you may be using artificial intelligence already and you just don't realize it.
Every day, AI helps people with their personal lives, jobs, transportation, education, health, and more, maybe even without them realizing it. Here are some examples of AI in action on a typical day. In the morning, a teenager wakes up and uses facial recognition to unlock her phone. She scrolls through social media feeds to see what's new. Then she asks the voice assistant on her phone what the weather is going to be like that day so she knows how to dress for school. A college student uses an app on his phone to deposit a birthday check from his grandmother. He takes a photo of the check, and the app automatically reads the handwriting to figure out the amount. It then deposits it into his account. Meanwhile, a younger student uses a different app that is teaching her a new language. The app listens to what she says and can recognize what she's saying even if she makes mistakes. The app then gives her personalized feedback on her pronunciation. At the same time, a person gets in their car to go to work, and the navigation system plans the fastest route based on current traffic. In the car, they listen to a music streaming service, which already knows what types of songs they like based on what they listened to before. When a factory worker arrives at her job, she sees that, as usual, humans and robots are both assembling cars. The robots do some of the more dangerous or repetitive tasks, like welding or painting. AI helps the robots recognize the tools they need to pick up or check parts to make sure they have been cut exactly right. When the cars are completed, computers help manage inventory and plan efficient shipping routes to deliver them around the world. Now, meet a farmer who's checking on her crops. She notices that some of her plants look unhealthy. She pulls out her smartphone and uses an app to take a photo of the leaves. The app can detect crop disease and also identify harmful insects. The app identifies the problem and recommends treatment. A surgeon is using AI to help make a medical diagnosis for a patient, and then a robot helps her perform a successful surgery. Afterwards, she goes to visit patients in a nursing home, where robots gently lift seniors in and out of bed and help them move around. In the meantime, a traveler needs to book a flight to another city. An automated customer service chatbot helps him book his ticket on the phone. Once he's on board, Autopilot flies the plane for much of the flight. AI is even used in space. On the International Space Station, an astronaut talks to a free-floating robot that helps with chores and does jobs that are risky for humans. Now that you've learned about how other people use AI every day, think about how you use it. Spend a few minutes thinking about this question. What are 3 ways that you or someone you know uses AI? Type your answers in your document. Now it's your turn. Think about 3 ways that you or someone you know uses AI, and type your answers in your document.
So I know I like to especially in the winter. Check the weather to see what it's going to be like for the day or how cold it's going to be. So I do occasionally use it, Siri or Alexa, and say, hey, what's the weather forecast for today? I've used, I think it's called iNaturalist, to help identify plants that I've seen growing that I wasn't quite sure what they were. Oh, another one. I have already said that I've used ChatGPT to help me reword things. That's another thing, though. When you're using like Microsoft Word or I think even Google Docs, when you're typing and the computer tells you that word spelled wrong or your grammar needs fixed, that's AI. All right, so let's move on. So we're going to look at some of the challenges of artificial intelligence.
In the past few videos, you learned about the benefits of AI and how people use it every day. In this video, you will learn about some of its challenges. These challenges include AI making mistakes, showing bias, and automating human jobs. First, AI can make mistakes. It's programmed by humans who might make mistakes when they program it. And since AI learns by looking at data, it can make mistakes if it doesn't get enough data. This is why it's often important for humans to work with AI so they can check what it's doing. Google Translate is an AI tool that learns from hundreds of millions of already translated documents on the internet, but the translations aren't always perfect. For example, Google Translate may have difficulty translating idioms. Idioms are expressions that have a different meaning than the literal definition of the words in the expression. An example is, it's raining cats and dogs, which means that it's raining heavily, not that cats and dogs are actually coming down from the sky. If the AI translates the sentence word for word, it is not going to make sense in a different language. But with enough examples, it can learn a correct translation. To help Google Translate avoid these and other mistakes, people can become contributors and verify or check translations. If many contributors verify a translation, it gets a badge. This is an example of how many people can work together within an AI system to make it more accurate. Another challenge with AI is bias. Bias means to prefer one person or thing over another. Consider the following situation where AI might learn bias from data. Imagine a company is hiring a lot of people. They get so many applications that they get an AI system to help them decide who to interview. The AI system is given data about who the company has hired in the past. Without realizing it, the company previously hired mostly younger people. The AI learns to imitate this pattern and favors younger candidates over older candidates. This is an example of how AI can learn bias from decisions made by humans. AI can also be used for other decisions. For example, banks might use it to decide who gets a loan for a house, or schools and teachers can use it to grade student assignments by programming it to look for specific keywords. These AI systems can return a grade within seconds. In each of these instances, AI makes decisions quickly and saves employers, banks, and teachers time. But can you think of any possible risks of using AI in these ways? How might these risks be minimized? Another challenge is the long-term effects of AI automation. Machines that use AI can do some tasks that used to be done by humans. For example, some factory work is now done by machines, and self-checkout machines now do some of the work of grocery clerks. What might happen as a result? For example, if robots around the world do more work, might humans get more time to relax? If AI does repetitive tasks, can people end up with more interesting jobs? And although AI may automate some jobs that are now done by humans, do you think it may also create new kinds of jobs? What kinds of jobs do you think might be needed? Many people and organizations are thinking hard about these challenges and ways to ensure AI is used responsibly. For example, Google has shared principles for building AI that is good for society, unbiased, and safe. In the next video, you'll start creating your project. Before that, think about what you have learned so far about how AI is used and its benefits and challenges. Spend a few minutes thinking about this question. What did you learn so far about AI that you never knew? Go back to your document and type at least 3 new things you learned. Now it's your turn. Think about what you learned so far about AI that you never knew, and type at least 3 new things in your document.
So I think we can see how AI can be a very useful tool for some things. As with any technology, you don't want to become too dependent on it. For years, there's been talk about the dumbing down of society. And because we've become so reliant on the machines or the computers doing the work for us, doing the calculations, spelling, typing, that we lose the ability to be able to think for ourselves and to be able to do math in our head or to be able to spell words correctly. So that's something that we need to be aware of, and be aware of the benefits of AI as a useful tool, but also be aware that we still need to be able to think for ourselves. Okay, from here we're going to start working on a presentation, and they're going to walk us through how we can create that visual dictionary that they were talking about. That actually a good idea if you have a student or you are a student that's trying to learn a foreign language. You can make your own flashcards with this.
What AI is, how it works, and about its benefits and challenges, it's time to create a project. For the rest of this lesson, you'll explore 2 AI tools, AutoDraw and Google Translate. In the extensions, you can work with other AI tools like Blob Opera and Semantras. In this video, you will build a flashcard dictionary in Google Slides with AI-created drawings and translations. Making flashcards is a great way to study or learn a language because they help you practice over and over. To begin, close the document you used to record your answers in the last few videos. Then, create a new presentation in Google Slides and rename it. Add a title. Then, add 3 slides. And make the layout for each title only. Now, choose a theme of related words for your presentation, like food, sea creatures, or something you're studying in school. Your teacher may also assign you a theme. Next, think of 3 words related to your theme. For example, if your theme is fruit, you might pick an apple, a banana, and an orange. Keep in mind that you'll be finding drawings for these words in AutoDraw, which is similar to QuickDraw. Choose simple words that AutoDraw will have drawings for. For example, it might not recognize the word photosynthesis, but it might have several drawings of plants. After you've chosen the 3 words, type 1 on each slide. Now it's your turn. Close your document, create a new presentation and rename it. Add a title and 3 more slides. Change the layout on each new slide to title only, and type 1 word from your chosen theme on each slide.
Okay, so I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and I'm going to choose a new, and Google Slides. And Google Slides is Google's version of PowerPoint. And things look a little bit different, but it still works the same. Okay, so this is And to add additional slides, you're going to click up here where it says New Slide. And you can actually choose the layout here. So if you click on the down arrow next to the plus sign, you can click that you want title only. And we want 3 pages like that. Okay. So I go to my second page and, oh, I need 3 words. Starfish. Shark. We'll see if I can draw these things. We'll see if AutoDraw recognizes them. And let's see, a third one. Octopus. Okay. And let's see what the next steps are going to be.
In this video, you will create drawings in AutoDraw and move your drawings to your presentation. AutoDraw is similar to QuickDraw, except there are no prompts telling you what to draw. Instead, you draw what you want, and the AI tries to guess what it is. Once it has a guess, it shows you other drawings of the same thing. These drawings were previously created by artists. AutoDraw notices not only what you're drawing, but also how you draw it. The shapes you draw, and the order and direction in which you draw them all affect what it thinks you're drawing. For example, if you draw two connected circles, the AI may think you're drawing the frames of a pair of eyeglasses or the two wheels of a bicycle. If AutoDraw doesn't recognize what you draw, it doesn't mean you're not a great artist. It probably just doesn't have enough data to know what it is yet. To begin, open a new tab in your browser and navigate to autodraw.com. Keep your presentation open in another tab. Look at the first word in your presentation. And begin drawing it in AutoDraw. AutoDraw will suggest images at the top of the page. You may need to scroll to the right to see all the suggestions. If a drawing that represents your word doesn't come up, try again, or use a different word. Choose the artist drawing you like best. Then, download the drawing you selected. Downloading means to save something to your computer so you can use it in another application. Upload it into your presentation. You can also just copy and paste the drawing into your presentation instead. Use the Ctrl-V or Command-V keys to paste. Finally, start over in AutoDraw and repeat the process for your second word. And your third word. Now it's your turn. Open a new tab and navigate to autodraw.com. Draw the first word from your presentation. Choose the image you like best. Download the drawing or copy and paste it into your presentation. And repeat the process for your other words.
Well, they didn't answer one of the questions I have, which is, what if you like what you drew better? Let's experiment with this a little bit. Okay, let's start over. Okay, I guess I have to be using the auto draw symbol rather than the other one. I do like the fact that because it is hard to draw with a mouse, that it'll try to figure out what it is you're drawing and make suggestions. Oh, there's the octopus. I wasn't drawing the octopus this time. And I actually like my starfish. Okay, and let me start over and do a shark. All right, I knew I was trying to go for a shark. Okay, and the last one, I need octopus. Let's see if I can get octopus up again. Dude. Okay, head, 1, 2. I'm drawing all 8 legs. Yes, that's what I meant, an octopus. Okay, so I have my 3 drawings. And let's find out what we are to do next. The translation tool. This should be fun.
Google Translate uses AI to translate words or phrases from one language into another. In this video, you will use Google Translate to translate your words into a language you're interested in learning more about. To begin using Google Translate, open a new tab in your browser and navigate to translate.google.com. Keep your presentation open in another tab. You can close the Auto Draw tab. Select one language to translate from, and then another language to translate to. For example, English to German or English to Malay. Now, type in a word or phrase like fish. Depending on the language, Google Translate might provide multiple translations for different parts of speech. In this case, fish as a noun and fish as a verb. It might also show definitions of the word, synonyms, and examples of how the word can be used in a sentence. Sometimes there are multiple possible translations, and it may be difficult for Google Translate to guess which one you want. To make sure you're getting the translation you want, click on the translation to see alternatives. Some languages even allow you to listen to the pronunciation of the word.
Fish.
Choose a language with pronunciations to translate your words into. Check the listen icon to see if your language has them. If the icon is grayed out, that means the pronunciation feature isn't available for that language, so choose another language. In your presentation, add the name of the language you will be translating your words into on the title slide. Then, add slides in between the picture slides. Change the layout of the new slides to title and body. Now, type the first word in your presentation into Google Translate. Select the translated word and use the Control-C keys to copy it. Some computers have a Command key instead of a Control key. In your Presentation tab, use the Control-V or Command-V keys to paste the translation. Follow the same process for the second word. And the third. Click the link next to this video to learn more tips and tricks for using Google Translate. Now it's your turn. Open a new tab and navigate to translate.google.com. Choose a language with pronunciations to translate your words into. Type the first word in your presentation into Google Translate, copy and paste the translation into your presentation, and repeat the process for your other words.
I think I have actually used Google Translate. But I think what I did was I would go into and do a Google search and be like, translate. Usually it's when I'm reading a book that has some of the words written in a foreign language. And it might be a language that I'm not real familiar with, or there might be a word in that language that I'm not familiar with. And then I'll go to Google and do a Google search and be like, translate, and type in the word that I want to translate. But then I'm like translating from that language to English. So where are we going? We are going to translate.google.com. Okay, my first word is starfish. And you can see it has a microphone there too. So if you want to just speak the word into Estrella de Mar. Oh, that sounds cool. I was going to pick French, but I think I like, oh, Étoile de Mer is also cool. And we have the
Étoile de Mer.
The pronunciation. I like the pronunciation part of it. Sometimes I can figure out what the words are supposed to mean, but I don't pronounce it correctly. So let's do a copy and go back to my dictionary here. And oops, I didn't add my pages. So to add the pages in between, I want to select the page before the page I want to add. So in this case, I'm selecting page 2, and I am adding title and body. And then paste that in there. And we go back to my title page here and then type in that this is my French dictionary. Okay, so for page 4, I want to add title and body for the following page, and the same for page 6. Add title and body for that page. Okay, so let me get my Google translations here for my next 2 words. Okay, and I want to see how he adds the translations or the pronunciations on there. Maybe we'll talk about that next. Link the translations. Okay.
In this video, you will link drawings to their translations on the following slides, and your translations to the previous slides. Linking your slides can help you use them as flashcards to study a new language or anything else. You will also link to the pronunciations of each word on Google Translate. This will help you learn how to say the word in the new language. To begin, click on the first drawing in your presentation. Then, insert a link to the next slide. Select the translation for that word on the next slide, and insert a link to the previous slide. Now, you can use these 2 slides as connected flashcards to help you study. You can also link to the word's pronunciation on Google Translate. Add body. To do this, copy the link to the translation webpage. Then select the word pronunciation and add the link. Now, you can click right from the slide to hear the pronunciation. Add body. Repeat the process for your second word. Forward. And your third. So. Now it's your turn. Link the first drawing in your presentation to the next slide. Link the translation of your first word to the previous slide. Add a link to the pronunciation of your first word in Google Translate, and repeat the process for your other words.
Okay, so we have our starfish. I'm going to link the drawing. So I select the drawing and click on the insert link icon at the top here and select next slide. And I go to the next slide, select Étoile de mer. Okay, this time I have to use the ellipses there to make the other icons visible. Select the insert link. And then I want to paste back to I want to go back to slide number 2. How do I get there? Why is it giving me all this other stuff I don't want? Slide 2. Okay. There we go. Figured it out. Okay, and we want to add the pronunciation. So let's go to Google Translate and put in starfish.
Étoile de mer.
And we're going to select the URL for that translation, copy it, select pronunciation, insert link, and this time I'm typing in or pasting in the link to the pronunciation. Now when I click on that,
Étoile de mer.
I thought it would connect automatically. And it still takes me to that page. Okay, so I would just continue doing that for each of my drawings. And let's see what we do next. Okay, here's our wrap up.
In this lesson, you learned about artificial intelligence and created a presentation using 2 AI tools. You learned that artificial intelligence is the ability of a computer or machine to think or learn, and that AI affects people's lives in different ways. AI can affect smaller things like music and movie recommendations, to bigger things like whether someone will get an interview for a job. You learned about some of the benefits and challenges of AI and the importance of designing it responsibly. As you completed this lesson, you explored how artificial intelligence is used in QuickDraw. Used verse by verse to help you compose a poem. Discovered how people use AI in a typical day. Got to know some of the challenges of AI. Took notes on what you learned about AI. Added slides to a presentation. Drew basic pictures in AutoDraw and inserted them into your presentation. Used Google Translate to get translations and pronunciations of words. Copied and pasted the translations into your presentation. Linked between slides. And linked to the pronunciations. AI offers you exciting opportunities to learn, to do your work, have fun, be creative, and so much more. Use what you learned in this lesson to find instances of AI all around you. As AI becomes more and more popular, maybe you'll notice new technologies becoming more common, like different voice assistants or more self-driving cars on the road. While you wait for these exciting new technologies to become widely available, you can explore AI more now with extensions like Blob Opera, where you can create your own opera song with 4 different blobs. Semantris, which is a set of word association games. Click the link next to this video to explore even more AI fun at Experiments with Google.
And if you want to work through this video presentation on your own, you would go to applieddigitalskills.withgoogle.com, sign in with your Gmail account, and go back to my dashboard here, and I can give you, I have this class under my computer classes. Enter in class code K8ZH3Q, and then you'll be able to enroll in this class, and it'll walk you through just like I did with this presentation. And each step of the way, it gives you those breaks so that you can actually have a hands-on experience doing it yourself. And you'll have access to those links that he was talking about in the video, so you can do some more experimenting with other types of AI. Some of that AI they were talking about, it sounds a little scary, self-driving cars. What can go wrong with that? That's another story, but yeah, so there's AI out there that you don't have to be afraid of. It's a tool, just like any other tool. It can be used for good and it can be used for bad. So take it and use it for good. And when he was talking about the using the AI to sort through resumes and having the bias towards the younger versus the more mature worker, that can be an example where having a really good resume comes in handy, making sure you have those key words that the employer is looking for so that when it does go through that AI process, it picks up on those words and says, okay, we're going to interview this person. So even though there is that bias there, you may be able to, being aware of it, you'll be able to work around it. And that is our presentation for tonight. We hope you will experiment with a little bit with some of the AI programs that we've talked about, and think about the ones that you are using. Like I said, checking the weather or using an app to identify plants. Things that you didn't really think about that, oh, I guess it really is AI or artificial intelligence. So that's it, and have fun exploring.